Hello, dear viewers. Good mood to you, and enjoy listening. This story was told to me by an acquaintance. I imagined myself in his shoes and fantasized a little. And this is what came out of it. My wife got sick, she was hospitalized, and I was left with a 3-year-old daughter. And work is such that no time off, no vacation, can be taken now. I couldn't do anything with such a little girl. I had to ask my mother-in-law to help me out. Either let her take Dasha to her place, or she can come to us. But something had to be done. My mother-in-law came to us. I came home late from work, played with Dashka, talked to my mother-in-law. She is a real woman. She gave birth to Valya, my wife, when she was almost 18 and was now in her prime, not even reaching her burly age again. And her character was calm and friendly. She found a common language with my son-in-law, and the age difference between me and her isn't that big. Valya is much younger than me, so there was no friction. On the contrary, everything was nice and fine. Hello, dear viewers. I hope you're in a good mood and ready to enjoy this tale. The story I am about to share is about Nikita and Senya, a couple who have been together for 5 years. Nikita, the husband, recently received a promotion, which required him to work long hours and go on frequent business trips. Senya, the wife, began to feel neglected, longing for more quality time with her husband. She missed his attention and the opportunity to talk about their lives and daily experiences. During this time, Senya started working with a new colleague named Vyacheslav. He was a young man full of energy and immediately showed interest in Senya. Although she initially enjoyed the attention, she never allowed things to progress too far since she was a married woman. However, they gradually began to communicate more and more, both in person and through social media. Their conversations became personal and even intimate. One day, Nikita went on another business trip, leaving Senya at home on her day off. She felt bored and lonely with nothing to do. Vyacheslav, sensing her boredom, invited her to go to the movies with him to watch an interesting comedy that would lift her spirits. Senya hesitated, considering how it might appear to others since she was a married woman going out with another man. However, she convinced herself that they were just being friendly, and she agreed to the invitation. During their outing, Vyacheslav behaved like a true gentleman, respecting boundaries and not crossing any lines. They enjoyed each other's company, and after the movie, they took a stroll in the park. When it was time to part ways, Vyacheslav jokingly asked if he could come in for tea. Senya, out of hospitality, agreed, thinking it was harmless. However, once inside, Vyacheslav noticed a bottle of wine on a shelf and suggested they celebrate the wonderful evening. They started drinking, engaging in non-friendly conversation. Vyacheslav showered Senya with compliments, expressing his infatuation with her, claiming he had fallen in love with her at first sight. Senya, under the influence of alcohol and craving affection, was deeply affected by his words. She let go of her thoughts about her husband, and in a moment of vulnerability, they engaged in a passionate encounter right in their own home. The following morning, Senya woke up and realized the magnitude of her mistake. She felt a deep sense of guilt and regret for betraying her husband. Overwhelmed with emotions, she sat in the kitchen, contemplating her actions. Vyacheslav, who had also woken up, joined her, but instead of a warm greeting, she heard him say that last night was a mistake. He expressed his remorse, claiming he was sorry for what happened. Senya, devastated, asked Vyacheslav to leave. She knew she couldn't continue down this path, for the sake of her marriage and her own conscience. For the next 2 weeks, Senya cut off all communication with Vyacheslav, feeling a tremendous sense of guilt towards her husband. She realized how much Nikita meant to her and how deeply she had hurt him. When Nikita returned from his business trip, Senya couldn't find happiness in their reunion. She became more attentive to him, constantly expressing her love and trying to make amends without revealing her infidelity. She knew that admitting the truth would cause him immeasurable pain, and she didn't want to burden him further. However, fate had a different plan. One day, Senya came home from work and found Nikita in the kitchen, holding a shot glass and a stack of printed papers. Her heart raced as she approached him, sensing something was terribly wrong. Her worst fears were confirmed when she saw that the printed papers contained their conversations and a photo of her half-naked, asleep in bed on the night she cheated on her husband. Nikita, overwhelmed with pain and betrayal, didn't say much. Senya attempted to explain herself and ask for forgiveness, but he seemed distant, lost in his thoughts and questions. After a long and tense silence, he uttered the words she dreaded the most: "Pack your things and leave." "I have nothing more to say." Senya fell silent, tears streaming down her face, as she went to pack her belongings. Nikita's decision was final, and she knew she had lost him. Overwhelmed with remorse, she realized the irreversible damage caused by her actions. She had been an unfaithful wife, and the repercussions of her affair would haunt her for years to come. In the aftermath, Senya lived with the guilt, avoiding any contact with Nikita and their mutual acquaintances. She understood that her reputation was tarnished, and few people would understand or support her. Seeking professional help seemed out of the question, as societal judgment would only further isolate her. As time passed, Senya struggled to find her way forward. She questioned her choices and contemplated the impact of her actions on her future. However, the path remained unclear, and the uncertainty of how her life would unfold haunted her thoughts. And now, thank you for listening to these stories until the end. If you enjoyed them, please support us with a like and subscribe to our channel. We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section.